Hey loves, hey. She went back to her braids. Let me do me a little span for y'all. I gotta dip them, so don't talk about me. Y'all already know. I had too much fun with my braids the last time. I do have a little peekaboos coming, so don't talk about that either. There was little spots that I couldn't really tuck into my braids. I would drink it, be some Don Julio, and I would just braid it, drink it, and braid it. This is what I got. I was going to go the wig route because I knew it was time for me to have some kind of protective style because I might be in some kind of retrograde. When my mind start wandering and venturing off like it always do, I have the tendencies of digging, getting in, playing with my locks, and I know that's not good. So I went with the braids. I see that is a peekaboo one too. That other one y'all see blowing, that is actually my little hairs. But anyway, I did want to go the wig, but I didn't want to risk the fact of the comb of my wig going in and out of my locks, causing more damage to the halo that I already have going on up here that we talked about in the last video. Because I do believe that my halo is the results of the combs to the fake ponytails and the wigs that was going into that middle section. You know what I mean? And I think I was doing it so often to the point it actually caused breakage then. And I didn't realize how broken off that part of my hair was until now that it's trying to push back through. It's actually growing to the point it's noticeable. It looks like my braids have been a month already just when I do this. Just look like Hello Negro, don't it? But it's actually just the halo. But it don't look fresh, but it is tight. So when I'm able to push it up into a ponytail, you're not going to be able to see that halo anyway, okay? I didn't do the wig, although the wig is another good protective style, depending on the person, depending on how you're installing it. I didn't want to risk it. Not only the combs, I didn't want to risk putting the lace with the glue and taking away, stopping the process, interrupting the process, taking away what we have already got within our process. I didn't want to damage that. I got my baby. I kind of just let her do what she want to do. That is the only one that didn't break. If you guys remember, a little after my first year, I started putting little baby locks around the perimeter. It was growing, but after so much time, they couldn't. A few videos back too, I kind of talked about how they just couldn't withstand the little strands that was coming behind the lock. Once it got to a certain length, it just couldn't hold. It's a sign. That one is my little free form. Kind of just letting that one do what it does too. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? I do have a halo going here, but again, these is going to get pushed up into a ponytail. I do feel that braids is the best protective style, in my opinion, because of the combs and the glue. I don't think it's worth even playing with the wigs, especially when I'm trying to get like a month wear, okay? Now the wig, if you do it, if you wearing that wig for like a week or 2 weeks, I think it should be fine, because eventually I am going to give it a try because I want me a wig. I just knew that in this moment right now I didn't need it. If you do the braids, I do recommend doing them after your retie. So I did my retie and then I threw the braids up that following week, right? The first time I tried braids, it was time for a retie. So I threw the braids on top, assuming that the new growth would make it look like unlocked hair braided. That was not a good idea, only because we, us, you, I don't get my reties at the 4-week, 5-week mark that's actually recommended for people with locks, only because my hair is thin, it don't really grow in big spurts. So 4 weeks is not enough time for me to even be able to get a full rotation in. And if you can't get a full rotation in, it's kind of pointless of having your retie done. especially now that I switched over to a 2-point. So I want to be able to get a few 2-points in now, right? But if you're still on the 4-point, 3-point rotation and you're getting like 4 or 5 rotations in during your retie, you are waiting extremely too long. And if you look at some of your locks, you can see exactly what I mean. I wish I would have did this before I put the braids on top of them. But there'd be one individual lock would be thick, they need to go thin, they need to go thick again, they need to go thin. In them spots where it's thin, them are them times where you waited past your 8 weeks. So in the midst of going, let's say 12 weeks, you're actually putting a new lock on top of what's already in transition, and them coils are already doing what they need to be do, right? So when you got enough new growth to the point you can put 5 rotations in, you're putting a whole new lock on top of one that's already in this moment. So that is the thin, then the thick, then the thin. Again, if you're waiting that long, let's not help our thinness, okay? I think we're actually helping it when we wait eventually that long. And as you see, you have a lot of new growth behind it. And as you're doing your reties, you can see the difference in that. And that just comes from the weight and the struggle that you have put on the lock and that new growth that's pushing on behind it, to the point that new growth, once you wait so long, it start, it's not uniform anymore. It might be a piece that can now get pulled into the lock next to it when it's actually originally a part of that one lock, but you waited so long that some of that new growth kinds of go about its way and it get pulled into other locks, which cause it now to be thin, because as the person retying you, they're trying to make sure your box is clean, and sometimes them other hairs are getting scooped this way instead of staying with the one right here, if that makes sense. So I do not recommend waiting past your 8-week limit. We're already pushing it with 8 weeks because of the way our hair grow. Let's not push it anymore. I think braids is the best way, because braids still allow me to leave my size alone and just let it be. I think with the lace, it would have, it kind of rests around. I guess I got to start trying to put it down further. I'm going to mess with that later. I'm thinking around Christmas time I'm going to try me a wig. But I'm at work. I just wanted you guys to see my braids. Tap in. This is my office. This is my zone. I got me a window. The window don't open, but it do give me some kind of sunlight, when I'm in this world all day, every day, Monday through Friday. This is where she is. But I just wanted to jump in and let you guys know that I had too much fun with my braids. I did go back. It's that weather. They don't look the best. Thank you, Don Julio. But when they go up, you ain't even going to be able to tell all that, okay? All right, loves. I didn't really want too much today. Just wanted to jump in, share my thoughts about braids on top of locks compared to wigs on top of locks. I am going to get me a wig Christmas time, okay? I'm going to let them just be. I'm going to give me a good month out of these box braids, though, honey, okay? You guys have a great day. Work from going. Almost time to go home. Again, I got to dip them. Do them edges again. I just like showing you guys that stuff, I love.